He was about to sign a multi-million-dollar contract when she walked in with a tray of tea. Her sleeves accidentally slipped, revealing deep purple bruises. The room went dead silent. The millionaire CEO, once known for never caring about anyone below him, stood up like he'd seen a ghost. "Maria, who did this to you?" She hesitated, shook her head, then whispered the words that made the room spin. "Sir, it was my husband, last night, again." What he did next shocked everyone in the building. Michael Langston wasn't known for empathy. Billionaire tech CEO, cold-blooded negotiator, built TitanTech from his college dorm, now owned 6 penthouses, 4 jets, and a reputation for being brilliant but brutal. Maria Alvarez had been working for him just 6 months, a quiet, polite maid in her late 30s. Came in early, stayed late, never asked for time off. Her eyes always smiled, but today those eyes were swollen. The bruises on her arm told a story she never dared speak. Michael saw them by accident. She brought him coffee during a contract signing with top investors. One drop slipped. She apologized, pulled back her sleeve, and that's when he saw it. He froze. The room grew tense. The investors thought he was about to explode over the coffee spill. Instead, he slowly rose, walked to Maria, and gently said, "Who hurt you?" Tears welled up in her eyes. She tried to lie. "It was nothing. I felt—" But her voice cracked. The silence in the room turned violent with tension. Michael looked her dead in the eye. "Maria, tell me the truth, right now." She closed her eyes, took a breath, and whispered, "My husband, last night, and the night before that." The room gasped. Michael turned toward his head of security and snapped, "Find her husband, now." Maria had been living a nightmare, silently. Her husband, Tony Alvarez, was once a charming man, until he lost his job, drowned in alcohol, and began using her as a punching bag. She couldn't leave. He'd threatened her children, 2 boys, 9 and 6. Michael brought her into his private office. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" She just looked down. "Because people like me don't get believed." Michael's hands clenched. He pulled out his phone. "Not anymore." In less than 15 minutes, Michael's private security located Tony at a bar downtown, drunk, loud, bragging about how he kept his woman in line. Michael didn't wait. He called 911 personally. "This is Michael Langston. I have a domestic violence situation, and the abuser is currently at Thompson's Pub. His name is Tony Alvarez. His wife is here with me. She's terrified, and she's not going home with him tonight." By the time the police got there, Tony was laughing until the officers cuffed him. That laugh gone. Back at the mansion, Maria watched through tears as her abuser was arrested. She kept saying, "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to bring drama." Michael interrupted her. "Maria, don't ever apologize for being a human being. You didn't bring drama. You brought truth. And that's something I'll always stand up for." The next morning, Maria didn't show up for work. But it wasn't because she was scared anymore. Michael had arranged a hotel suite for her and her boys, paid in full for the next 6 months. His company covered private therapy, legal protection, and full custody representation. But that wasn't all. He called a meeting with his board and announced, "TitanTech will now fund a domestic abuse recovery center. We're naming it the Maria Foundation." His investors were stunned. He smiled. "I built an empire with code and contracts, but this is legacy." Weeks later, Maria returned, not as a maid, but as director of outreach, at the very foundation named after her. She stood on stage beside Michael at the ribbon cutting. She told the crowd, "Some men build walls to hide behind power, but some use power to break walls for others." Michael simply smiled, and for the first time in his cold business life, he felt like a man, not just a CEO,